I feel very privileged to have the chance to present our experiences with dual education or cooperative education, as the English-speaking people call it, as we implemented it in Austria. I just want to say something in advance. I just talk about our experiences in Austria, and I want to motivate also your universities to implement something like this dual education. It is not possible to make a copy and paste of one system. We cannot copy and paste what Wismar does. You cannot copy and paste what we did in Austria. We all who are experienced in this dual education can give you a puzzle part to make your own mosaic of dual education. So, I will just tell you about our way in Austria to implement this dual education system, and I want to talk a little bit about the advantages and the chances for us academics with the so-called dual education. So you have this work-based, oh, this does not really.
It's not showing on the screen.
Oh shit, okay. This is real life, and it is applied sciences. We see that this does not work. Okay. Work-based learning and dual education or cooperative education in Austria. It is said that tell me, I will forget, show me, I will remember, and involve me, I hopefully will understand. This is what we want to do with our students. The table of content is short, some words about Graz, dual education, why did we start this anyway in Austria, our degree program structures in Austria, then we have the succession of dual bachelor and master programs, overview about quality assurance in these programs, because quite often there are prejudices whether it's really academic what we do. I think it is, but we will talk about this later. We have a definition in Austria. For a long time it was a problem to explain what is it. Is it work integrated? Is it work enabling? What is it really? And it took us now 17 years to make clear in Austria what we understand by dual education. It should be a win-win-win situation. We talk about this, we talk about success factors, partner companies, and have a look to the academic calendar which we offer. So, fasten your seatbelts. The next 3 or 4 hours we will be on a ride through the dual education in Austria.
No, we have only 40 minutes.
Here we are in the southern part of Austria, a little town called Graz, about 280,000 inhabitants, and 50,000 of them are students. We 900 hours from CPU, so we are really in the southern part of Austria. We have 2 universities, one medical university, 2 University of Applied Sciences, fine arts and pedagogical universities in Graz. We offer at FH Joanneum today. Joanneum was mentioned shortly before by Mr. Weinberg. We have now about 50 programs, and we started in 1995 as a technical University of Applied Sciences. Meanwhile, we have also some other departments, as we can see. So, our educational system looks like most of them. We have a primary education, secondary education, and now I have to fight a little bit and try to do it this way. Here we have the so-called apprenticeship. The apprenticeship is a kind of education in the secondary level where people are going to learn a profession. We have this in Germany, Austria and Switzerland, and it is quite close what we nowadays do at the academic level. The apprenticeship means that you have 2 learning environments. One learning environment is industry, one learning environment is a school where you are educated. And now we do the same in our type of dual education. You have really two learning environments. The one is a university, and the other one is real life as a company. And our students spend half of the year without holidays in real life, in the company, to learn there. So, we have still military service in Austria, and now we see in the tertiary level we have in bachelor and master program this also this dual education. Apprenticeship, we talked a little bit about, it is in the nomenclature, it is ISDED 3B, it's a secondary level of learning a profession. And here we have a short look now to the traditional universities, which are more or less discipline orientated, while as applied science, in the applied sciences we have the industrial orientation. We have in the traditional universities more the focus on theory and R&D, while we have it more on theory and real application in real life. And a lot of the universities have quite a poor practical experiences, while we have, with the dual system, nearly 50% of the time our students spend in real life. Traditional full-time programs, you have the regular programs and you have the work-enabling programs, but I think it was just to remember you, you will know this mostly. I think we do not have to talk about this in detail. The cooperative or dual education in higher education started for us in Europe more or less in Baden-Württemberg with the DHBW, Duale Hochschule Baden-Württemberg. Wait, oh, yeah, here it comes. Okay, why did we start it? This is the first thing. We have a strange industrial structure in Austria. We do not have the same situation like in Germany. We do not have the big companies. We are very oriented to the SMEs. They are really vital for our industry. So we have it a little bit different. We had to adapt it to our necessities. The contribution of the big companies still is declining, and what we saw is that a lot of our research organizations really failed to get in touch with the SMEs. Why ever? And nevertheless, we have to support these SMEs, and this was the idea in 2000, in the year 2000, when the county government of Styria came to us and said, we want to have this, what the Germans do. So we had 2 years of development, and 2002 we started with the first dual program in Austria. And how to improve it? It was at the end, in 1906, started this dual education on university level. It was started in the United States with Mr. Hermann Schneider. Then it came 1975 to Baden-Württemberg, and now we started 2002 in Austria. Now we have about 7 programs all over Austria with this dual system. This was the first class of cooperative students in 1906 of Dean Schneider. 1906 we mentioned was the Cincinnati plan, then the Massachusetts Institute of Technology started the Corp model, and after World War II we had this rotation of 3 months, which we still also have in Austria. Okay, I think in Germany nowadays we have 1,600 dual programs. You see where Austria is with 7 programs. Just some words about this. A traditional degree program looks like this. We have mostly theoretical parts, at university, and at the end, one internship, which is obligatory. And we start at our program of production technology and organization, we start after the second semester with a summer internship. Why after the second semester? We have a very inhomogeneous structures of applicants. We have students coming from technical education, we have students coming from general education, we have students which come from the so-called second path of education, means they had an apprenticeship, they made an additional grade, graduation, and then they are allowed to apply for university in their subject. So it's a very inhomogeneous structure, and the first 2 semesters we try to level them somehow before we send them to industry. This is the reason for this. And then we start with this rhythm of 3 months at university, 3 months first work term, 4th semester university, a long work term of 6 months, then again 3 months, 3 months, 3 months. This is what we do. Our students have 25 days free per year, like a normal employee. And in the average of a year, it is a half employment for them. Here you see it, how it works, how the spiral up to the academic degree works between university and real life. You go up here to the bachelor project, bachelor thesis, and then start also with a dual master program. About 80% of our students coming from the bachelor, which is basically technical, mechanical engineering education. They stay at us and go also on in the master. Some go on to university and make some kind of economical degree, something like this. About quality assurance in this process, for the development of the study program, we have external experts from industry who support us, who give us input about their needs. What does industry really need? And they tell us about the subjects and about their expectations. We have the accreditation process with the ACU Austria, Agency for Quality Assurance and Accreditation. And then, in the next step, we have the selection process for our students. And we take external HR responsibles for oral interview, where we talk with our applicants about their motivation, why do they want to do it. We also have a written exam, so it's 70% is a written exam, 25% is oral interview face-to-face, and 5% are the grades they bring with them to us. It's just 5%. In the company we have a mentor system, and also at the university, so we take care of them, of the students from both sides, as mentors in university and mentors at the companies. At the end, we have the appraisal of the thesis. We grade from university side the theoretical part of the thesis, and we are supported by the industry again, as they grade the practical usability of the results. And this was this. So we nowadays have a definition. What do we understand by dual education? It is a repeated sequence of theoretical phases and internships with a continuous reflection. This is a very crucial point, that we urge our students to reflect on the things they are doing. They have not only to write technical reports, neutral, written, objective technical reports, they also have to write, how do I feel, how did I develop, what knowledge did I get, how did I change my personality, what have been my personal experiences. So it is also written in the way I experienced, I learned, not it was, there have been several subjects in the traditional way. We want to know from them how did their experience influence their life and also their career path. Do I still just want to become a vehicle engineer, or do I really now know I want to do logistics, I want to make design, I want to make calculation? So there's an individual career path which they have to reflect and to experience in their vocational phases. You have the internship out and beyond the normal scope. We talked about it about 1 semester in average. We have much more. Our students have about 500 to 600 hours per year. Acquisition, curricular defined competencies take place at 2 places of learning. This is very important. The students are also granted with 5 ECTS points in their practical phases. They have to learn there and they have to show us that they learned something there. And we talked about the admission process for university. We are both industry and university. We are both responsible for the students we admit to our house and whom we enroll. The company must take a training commitment, and of course they must be suitable for this training. We have the organization of these phases, we have the contents on these phases, we know. We have the 3 partners, it's the students, it's us and the company. And of course our students also have an appropriate compensation for the work they do, because they are not traditional practicants, they are part of the company and they contribute also to the company's success. They really have to work there. In Austria, meanwhile, we have this platform, Dual Studieren. You can have a look on it on the web to get more information about it. This is a very important thing for us. This is this continuous reflection on what am I doing. We talked about this at the beginning. We urge our students, we want to read from them, how did I develop? And so they have to do this, as David Kolb suggested in the year 1974. It depends on the subjects which you will teach and the way you designed your study program. In our case, we have a 50-50 between university and a company. There are other programs, full-time programs, 80% at university, 20% in enterprises, or you have the part-time programs as MBA or short courses with 20% at university and 80% in the enterprises. So it is just different types. Our aim is this one, that you have the student, he goes through several internships, and at the end we will have a manager, hopefully. It should be a win-win-win situation for all parties. For the university, it is a tight cooperation with industry, and it is also for us ongoing adaptation of our curricula. We have all 5 years a re-accreditation of our program, and during these 5 years the programs, the courses in the programs change. It may be the name is the same, but the content is continuously adapted to the needs, to the feedback which we get from our partner companies. For the students, it is, of course, higher education. It's a professional practice, and they also have a certain income and a certain kind of social security. And for the companies, it's a chance to build up a human resources structure, build up a corporate network, and they also get access to an external research institute what is especially important for our SMEs, which often are not really satisfied with work together with the universities, because they need results which bring money, which they can apply, and they do not need an academic paper about a problem. From student learning to company innovation, there are some points to mention. Make innovation and technology transfer a main goal. So our students start to become knowledge dealers. They bridge between university and their enterprises. They are allowed to call us if they have a certain project or a task. They all time can call us at university and we will support them. And by this, we also support our SMEs or our industries. Our students need to be challenged. They want to do something. So we have to give them also the chance to do real something useful. And in the companies, they have the chance to do it and they see what for it is. I remember very well my time at the Technical University in Graz. I had projects and I knew what was happening to the papers I have been drawing. It was, I don't want to talk where it ended, but in industry, they need it, they take it, and they work with the results our students really produce. Reflection on doing we had, and finally, for especially the SMEs, it is a good idea and a chance to get access to academic knowledge. We are more or less with our program in nearly all branches which need engineering. Even such strange branches as Heineken, beer, breweries, and dairies in Austria, they all need engineering capacity. As we heard before, most countries who are producing will need engineers and they need R&D support. So this is just a short overview over several of our industrial partners. We nowadays have about 350 companies which are working with us. There are the smaller ones who take one student or 2-3 years, and for example, Bösser, Puntigammer, the breweries, they take every year 3 to 4 students. The academic calendar in the bachelor looks like this. In green, you see the time our students spend in the companies. In blue, it's the time where they are at the university. And it's about nearly the same in the master program. In the master program, it's a little bit more in industry, and the 650 hours in real life are covered by 26 ETS over the whole 2 years of the master program. This is a nice wish of the industry. They would like to have something like this. The ideal student will be 20 years old, 10 years of experience in industry, minimum 3 languages fluently, and so on and so on. This is what industry would like to have, and we are on the halfway to it. We are working on the subject, as you see. Yeah, and by this, I think we are, with the dual education, able to bridge the gap between education, university, and the industry. This is what we do or what we try. Together, it will be much easier to be competitive, to have success, and it is the three people, it's industry, it's student, and of course it's us as a university who is supportive on this way to an economic success of our society. I say heartily thank you for listening.
Yeah, thank you very much for the overview about dual education in Austria and how you are doing it at your university.
How we do it.
Yeah, how you do it. Exactly.
Mike, can you bring?
from South Africa.
We just had in South Africa a project for this.
Thank you very much for the wonderful presentation. I would just like to know one thing. I heard that the students don't have a break. They have a break in between because from industry to the classroom, these are that. I'm wondering about fatigue.
It works? Okay. Our students have 25 days off per year, like a normal employee. What means they take 12.5 days during the theoretical phases in university and 12.5 days during the practical phase in industry, and that's it.
There is some little break.
No, not necessarily a break. It may be also window days, for example. If Thursday is a holiday, they have Friday off. So this is not really a break like holidays. They do not have semester holidays, summer holidays, Easter holidays, Christmas holidays, Pfingst holidays, whatever. No, they don't have. They just have these 12.5 days and they are taken quite flexible.
But still they have some break, free time.
They have some free time, but not real a break, like a semester holiday or something like this.
Maja?
I suppose that this dual education is a quite serious issue in all, at least, Central European countries.
More and more.
Yeah, more and more. We somehow had quite good results in the past, then after 1989 things changed, and now we are at a loss. Yeah, what to do? So my question is, to what degree, for instance, the authorities or any institutions in Czech Republic or in Slovak Republic have been interested in the results of what you are doing? Or do you have any contacts or cooperations with them?
We have contacts, we have cooperations, but we have to say but. It is always on a personal level. If you know somebody, he says, hey, I'm interested to do this, let's make a project. So we have it with South Africa, we have it with Mozambique, with Bulgaria, with Romania. And for example, in Poland, we have one professor who said, I want to have this. And his dean says, no. This is not academic. This is too close to real life. We do not want to get too much in touch with industry. This we have at the university in Gdansk. And he says, okay, we'll find another way. He found an agreement with several enterprises who also said, we want to have this, and he acknowledges certain parts what the students do in real life as laboratory work, and acknowledges this with the given ECTS points. And by this we have a lot of experience how to find a way to implement it in different legislative surroundings.
Nothing from Slovakia or Czech Republic so far?
We don't have contact with them. We had a lot of contact with Hungary who did it. We are looking permanently for partners. I think I'm now in about 10, 15 development processes of dual programs. And so I think we have a very good overview what can be done, and this knowledge we offer also to the others. And we hope this dual family will be constantly growing over the world.
Yeah, please.
Thank you very much for very interesting information. In our experience in this field is
Thank you.
Representative from enterprises absolutely don't know what they should do with the students. So when students come to enterprises and responsible people can give them any information what they should do. Do you have some experience how you organize, how you manage with deal in your project, how you work with representatives person from enterprises side?
Yes. We know this problem. We started with the same obstacles in Austria. So also for us, the wheel was not running round from the beginning on. It's now starting to do this after 17 years. It starts to begin a self-runner. But we have guidelines, we have train-the-trainer seminars, we have once a year a meeting of each Kohorte, Jahrgang, with the representatives of the enterprises where they get the knowledge they need. We tell them what to do, how to do. We have written guidelines, what we expect the enterprises that our students have to do. The average student has to start in the workshop floor. This does not mean that he's going there to clean up the court, but he has to work practically in the workshop floor for the first minimum 1 month, better 2 months, because especially the guys and boys, the ladies and boys from the general education, they need to get in touch with the working people. They often do not know what is topic 1, 2, 3 at the workshop floor. It's football, it's cars, it's ladies. And they have to experience this, that they learn to talk with these people. Sooner or later they will be in a leading position and they should be able to talk with these people on the workshop floor, especially in production technology. And then they develop through the enterprise, through the different departments, from purchasing, from design, from whatever else. This is the way we do it. As I told you, I just can tell you we do it, and I can give you some other examples also. For us, it works this way very well.